Mando season finale reaction.
Wow. 8:24, and you feel like Kobe.
Yo. It's all connected. Yo.
That's fire. Episode 8 of season 3. 10 to confirm. Of season 3 of The Mandalorian, chapter 24, and it's 42 minutes long. Would you look at that? The Mandalorian and his allies confront their enemies. Any predictions?
Bo-Katan's dying.
Yes.
Anakin's pulling up.
I believe that. Ahsoka's showing up,
Yeah.
and I believe that Bo-Katan is dying.
Alright.
Those are my two theories.
I don't think Bo-Katan's gonna die. I don't know why. I just don't think
Is Din dying?
No. There's
Din
no
dying.
way. They don't.
Din dying?
I think if they were gonna do it, they would have done it.
Ooh!
It Din dying?
No, I pressed it by accident. Alright, here we go. Is that everybody's theory?
Fuck it.
Everyone, use the capital ship as a decoy. We can't beat them in
You're
the air. We
right
have to beat
in
them
up.
on the ground.
Hey, he going. Oh, gee, high up.
What a shot. This is on location, guys.
He's going like out of space.
Yeah. Like he's out. like guys, like he bounced. He's out.
Oh, good cook.
Oh, these guys aren't buns.
Nah, they're not. Guaranteed to take his helmet off this episode. No. Let's go.
No.
He's like, Daddy?
What's he
What is
spraying?
that?
He's just
He's
spraying
just
random
spraying
shit.
to wake him up.
No. No.
Yes.
Go.
Got it. Good job, buddy. That's the
Look
command
at him.
center.
Liking droids and shit.
Word.
Because that's where he operates from.
Character development, that's crazy. This show sucks.
No, it's just go 2 at a time. Why they look the other way? Why do they
just
look the
washed
other way,
them.
bro?
Oh, these guys are buns, bro.
Hold on. Hold back. Ooh.
I'm fucking bad now.
Oh. Oh.
Hey. Captain America reunion confirmed.
Just got a riot shit.
Oh. That's what it's like.
What the fuck
What
going
the
on?
fuck is? Yo, what the
It's
fuck?
like, what the fuck happened over here?
Yo, who this?
Yo, stop that, bro.
Yo, chill,
chill,
you're wildin', bro.
chill,
We're supposed to stick
nigga.
together. We're droids.
Join together strong. Shut the fuck up. Vader.
That was like almost like the Batman scene.
Right.
Nice. Mando Wick.
Oh my god! I got him
Yo, get out of there.
Yeah.
What are y'all gonna do?
Now we jumping your
Alright,
ass.
bro.
Oh,
Hold that.
yeah. Oh, one of them fell off.
That's his origin story. That's it. You're gonna get a spin-off.
This is crazy.
Explains a lot about Pop now.
That's not getting. Those are his clones.
Come on, bro.
Look at him. He's like, oh,
It's
yo,
so funny.
what's
He's
going
like, yo, why the
on?
fuck did he open his eyes?
There's still a betrayal somewhere here.
Yeah, like he was looking a little bit too good.
Nah, he did. You're
Oh,
lying.
yeah.
It's you. You're lying. Oh, they coming in to clap,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
they they're
throwing hands.
Yo, D, yo, she about to slice and dice.
Or I would just go like this.
Spinning and winning.
Yo, Fruit
Slice-
Ninja.
Yeah.
Fruit Ninja for her. Oh, man.
Battle of the Bastards?
Word. Oh! Oh, this looks clean, bro. Oh,
Bye.
Like, how fast are they going?
Ooh.
cannot believe he was just like chilling with Lizzo and now this is happening. That's so crazy.
Alright, let's not get our asses whooped now. Let's get it.
Come on.
So
Oh,
oh
it's
no.
flipped.
Oh no.
It's like in God of War when they bring like 2 extra
Yeah,
bosses.
literally.
to
You're like, bro.
Boba's pulling up. Some way, somehow. Boba's pulling up.
Musafine fucking
Oh,
trials.
yeah, let's get it, Grogu.
No.
No. No.
Oh, he said, no, sir.
Yo, chill! Armor is not against us. Because she's like washing them.
Yeah, she watched
Oh, she went from her knees. Yo. Oh.
Yeah, it's clip, bro.
Yeah. Use your Luke training. Luke Skywalker training, bro. Damn, I sound like a nerd.
Like, hold that. Hold that.
He's like,
Look at this guy. Weave,
bro.
Oh, no.
It's just more mechanical.
He's getting his sun right now.
Nah, he's getting fucking washed.
His health bar is like at 30, bro.
He's rage mode. Yo. Oh.
Nice.
Why don't you just come in with the sword?
Word,
Cut
just
his
slice.
fucking head off. What do you think, bitch? Ooh.
I know.
Imagine.
What is that?
That's pretty sweet, actually.
Wait, that's mine.
Link in the description below.
Oh. Man, about to watch them.
Right, giving them way too much time. He's like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. Alright, we had enough of you. I say get back.
He's just winding up and he just fall like. Oh, nah.
Let's go, bro. The dynamic duo.
The big two.
I mean, this is Kobe and Shaq right now.
Oh!
You know what means to make now.
Oh. Do it.
Oh.
Oh,
He just
word.
broke that shit.
Word. Do it.
Wow, people are so pissed now.
Do it.
The Darksaber is gone. You've lost everything.
Here comes Mando.
Not everything.
Going out swinging for him, going outside.
Yeah, he got something you don't got.
Shit.
You buns.
Fuck out of here.
I got the Oh!
What the fuck out of here, cuz?
No, sir.
Let's go. Oh.
That little ass shield.
Let's
That's how he died.
go.
Nah, I feel like he's still alive. Oh!
Oh. Oh, he's protecting them.
That's tough.
Damn. I was about to say, I was like, yo, they're about to get washed too. Like, that shit is right there. Nah, he clipped. This is OD. Like,
Bro, that's
and
a
a
fireball.
and a whole ship
That's an
crashed on
entire
him.
explosion. Yeah, that's
done.
That's OP.
I need to see him.
Imagine like Gideon is just psych.
Yeah, he comes out right now.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He just went like this. Like, I
This
was
isn't
like,
even my final form. And so,
Alright, I guess he is dead.
fade to black. Okay, I guess he's nobody.
Credits.
Nobody.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Nobody.
Nobody. I don't know.
Nah, come on.
If his parent gave permission, couldn't he then become a Mandalorian apprentice?
Yes, but his parents are far from here. If they're even alive.
I'm
Right
daddy,
here,
cuz
bro.
I'm right here.
Then I will adopt him as my own.
Let's fucking go.
I mean, we knew this.
Yeah, like, it's not like new.
What do you mean?
This is the way. You are now in Grogu.
Fire.
An apprentice.
Din Grogu, bro. I'm naming my, first child that, bro.
My guy
I'm naming my
DG.
first child that, bro. Yo, Din Grogu.
Take your apprentice on his journeys.
Dude, how his walks always makes me laugh, bro.
He walks like a South Park character.
Yeah, he does. He does look like a South Park character.
You know, this is against regulation. You'll never get through. Which is why
Jim and Batman.
Pretty much Batman.
you already did. It's a good deal and you know it.
What you've done, Mando. I want to give you this deed to a cabin just outside of town.
Damn, I can't live downtown?
New
Oh, to lay low.
Between adventures.
A safe house, confirm. A save point.
Oh.
It's a video game.
AKA Sindri's house.
Sindri's house. Shout out to
Hey,
Sindri.
Rogue, bro. What a fire
For
name.
you as well.
Citizens, I am IG-11, your marshal.
Hello, Taika.
I am here to serve and protect the citizenry.
Yo, look at his character development, bro.
And serve
He's relying on a droid to protect the citizens.
And also, this dude self-destructs. By the
You just
way.
be chilling, self-destruct. He's like, whoa, what the fuck?
Eat it. Yo, let my man just go down. Let him live, bro. Oh, that's it.
That's it? I'm so upset.
Let us know what you thought.
Oh, yeah.
Not tuned into the best of it.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
It's about to go down.
I'm a villain in my city.
Wow, this sounds so good.
Perfection.
Perfection.
Wait, are you?
JB?
I think we should.
Yo, what we drinking, fam?
Damn, some water.
Do we
I
do
mean-
one for JB?
I think we should.
Cheers. Cheers to episode 217. This wasn't the original episode 217. The original episode 217 was Chakudi Uji. But we're going to talk a little bit of Star Wars first. Yeah, peep the flex.
I know, right?
Real
that's,
quick.
That's kind of crazy.
So
man.
we're pushing that one to 218.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, y'all, we've been having a great day so far. Welcome to the Chillin' with Villains. I'm one of your hosts, JB. Here with my guy Ariel.
Do we
Here
do
we
one
got
for JB?
with my guy Mark.
My boy Mark lives in New Jersey.
Shout out to Brim and Eunice. We miss y'all. Can't wait till the
yeah,
five of
for
us are in the
real.
studio again.
I need a girlfriend, and you know,
Is there anything saying Eunice's name?
No.
Yes, there is. There's a Madison Bear
Oh.
clip of her saying Eunice's name. We need to find it.
I'm gonna send him to
yeah.
She says, Eunice, what's good? Or something like that.
Yeah, she says what up to Eunice.
We
yeah.
need an AI to read what Rachel Zegler said.
Happy
we
birthday,
need
Eunice.
James Gunn. We need the Snyder fandom to do the James Gunn. Hello, Eunice. Restore the Snyderverse. So yeah, y'all, we're gonna have Chakudi Wuji from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 come on in just about a half hour.
You'll hear it in the next episode.
Right. So we thought, be a good idea to hop on real quick because we all did watch the Mandalorian Season 3 finale, right? Episode 8 of the season, Chapter 24, Feel Like Kobe Bryant. And, feel me? And I missed out on the last 2 weeks, but I did, listen to the first one. I'm catching up. Gonna listen to the second one that you guys dropped last week. But thanks for holding it down first and foremost.
Of course.
And then second of all, all of our takes, just completely off.
Horrible takes.
Off.
We were like
Way off.
terribly off.
Yeah.
Bad shooting night for sure.
We were 8 for 24.
Nice. Yeah, but I had said Bo-Katan was gonna get clapped. Really, still would have enjoyed that. Didn't happen.
I actually got one thing right. I said she was not gonna die in the reaction.
So I got one thing right.
That's fair.
Actually, you did say that. Yeah.
That's fair.
You did say that.
But yeah, I thought Ahsoka was gonna show up for this finale.
Yeah.
I thought
Thrawn.
I thought they were gonna at least tease going into, Ahsoka, like what was gonna happen.
I thought Boba Fett was coming through.
I thought Boba Fett was coming through, like.
You know what, bro?
You're a victim.
But I am a victim to the streets. The streets have my mind is filled with nonsense by not listening to the streets, but just seeing all this on the street. Like think about how crazy is that? This is what people were expecting from the finale.
Yeah.
And now I understand why people are like, wow, this sucks. Yeah, because you were over here thinking all this was going to happen when it wasn't. Because don't get me wrong, I would have wanted Bo-Katan to get clapped.
Spoilers ahead.
Oh, of course. You're listening to the Chillin' with Villains. Like, there's,
Always. Yeah. Always.
Not 9 times out of 10, there's spoilers.
That's so true.
But that is a good point here, Ariel, because there could be people that are tuning in for the first time to episode 217.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? So
Shout
this
out
is
to
their
y'all.
first time listening. So shout out to our regulars.
And sorry if we spoiled something for you.
Yeah. Shout out to our newer listeners and watchers. And yeah, sorry for the spoilers. That's my bad.
Spoilers ahead.
But yes, still alive, Bo-Katan running around. But I mean, here's the thing. I'm really cool with the way they did the finale. Again, there are a couple of things I probably could have changed because I did see some tweets that, someone said, I wish they built it up to be like the Moff Gideon final like showdown.
Yeah.
But we only really saw him for the back half of the season. Like we didn't even know still that he was gonna be the big bad this season. But at the same time, I'm like, wow, like it kind of makes sense that he would be anyway. So we should have been expecting that regardless.
Well, we already got him in season 1.
And he also
and
in season 2. But that's what I'm saying. Like they're
how much more do you
we're
need
already
to see
familiar
him?
with him, exactly. So we just didn't know what the end game was for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not super mad about it because again, right? We had him in season 1 and 2. We know what his we know ultimately
We know he's an asshole, bro. Like,
right.
That's all you need to know. Like
we knew that the woman who had brainwashed the doctor, Katya, right? I think that's her name. We know she was now working for him. And, which was kind of something we already mentioned in a previous podcast as well, but now obviously officially confirmed. And I love the scene in the last episode where he goes to talk to the other kind of Imperial, generals and talking about, they're like hyping up Thrawn, and he's like, yo, fuck Thrawn. Like,
yeah, he's like, yo, actually, we should get under some new leadership. And they're like, but word?
Yeah, and you kind of get more of that because he was cloning himself.
Yeah.
Like everyone, we were listening to our boy Heavy Spoilers on YouTube.
Shout out to Paul.
Shout out to Paul, yeah. So we were listening to him, and he had mentioned like, oh, like we thought it would be leading up to something to do with Snoke, and everything that happened with the sequel trilogy. So again, it just goes to show that people are most likely going to be disappointed regardless. It's like, oh, so the cloning technology was for him. It was for Moth rather than, it being something that's setting up the sequels.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it is setting up the sequels, right? Because now we get to see that, okay, it's more than one person that's thinking about this cloning, technology and being able to clone themselves. So I'm sure some radicals were like, yo, if that's the case, or it could be the fact that they already have begun cloning for Palpatine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even way before we saw it for Moff Gideon. But overall, man, I thought the episode itself, I'll rate it as an 8 out of 10. And that's probably what I'll give the series, the season 3 as a whole, 8 out of 10. I did think, right, they might have been building up to something that I saw a lot of people talking about for weeks, where it's like, yo, because a lot of people's complaints was this show became less of his, more of Bo-Katan's, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm not so mad about that. I'm not mad that...
we got introduced to all these guys.
Well, not even that. Like, we now have the rebuilding of Mandalore, of the Mandalorians. And I think the last 15 minutes of this episode were beautiful. I thought the episode as a whole was great. I thought the fighting was great.
Yeah, that was a standout, I think.
Yeah, right? Like I thought it looked really good. I thought it was
it wasn't like super clunky or anything. It felt fluid.
Right. Them fighting in the air, her with the Darksaber, slicing and dicing in the air.
Yeah.
We thought there were gonna be betrayals, right? We thought that guy was gonna betray Bo-Katan. We thought
everybody
was
in on it.
Everybody that was on screen were like,
Yeah. It was all the Mandalorians at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But no, so I mean we we didn't get any of the things again that A, we predicted, and B, that some people were maybe hoping for.
Yeah.
On Twitter and just generally talking to people. But I think what people are gonna get now for either, because I don't know, like they haven't announced anything, but I'm sure they at least might do one more season or 2 more seasons of this.
why not?
Yeah.
But also it could just be like, hey, they have shelter now. They have a place that the two of them could just live happily ever after and go on their adventures. But again, I think they did hint at them being like, yo, like I need X, Y, and Z because he's gonna be my apprentice now. Like I'm gonna be training him to be a Mandalorian, bro. A Mandalorian with the Force, bro.
OP.
Yeah.
OP.
And the thing is too,
they could do a time jump, bro, and that shit would go crazy.
So you think a time jump is what?
They could do a couple
it could,
years.
It could lead to that.
50,
it could
bro.
lead to that.
Grogu's 50.
Do a couple years where you can talk.
It could lead to that.
Yeah.
He's like actually like kind of like
Because we
almost like Atreus in like God of War, where it's like he's become more like a actual like he knows how to use the Force. Like he
kind of knows his way
can
around.
move. Yeah.
Because I will say this about the season as well. I think it progressed Grogu's character very well.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job of showing that he's not just a baby just walking around with Mando, and Mando has to constantly, protect him. Obviously, Mando, and we saw that Din took the responsibility, or excuse me, Djarin, that's his first name, because it's Din Djarin, now Din Grogu. Which, by the way, that scene was beautiful to me where, he basically adopts him. He's like, yo, I would like to be the father of this child.
He's like, where do I sign?
And the Mythosaurus was like,
the Mythosaurus
yo, Grogu was like, yo, he's like, y'all don't see that? I feel it. I can feel it.
I can feel it.
I can feel it. But I think even we visualized it. They did a good job of showing us through, him using, what was it? The droid that he was
IG-12.
IG-12?
Yeah, it was IG-12.
Instagram 12.
Instagram 12. We saw that he was able to communicate through that, like yes, no, right? Even as simple as that, but you could see that he's coherent on what's happening and what's going on.
Yes, that was a dope thing to add, because it's like Grogu's just like for almost the entire series, he's just been walking around like looking up at and you can make certain faces or whatever, and you can tell like there's that he probably understood, or there are other times where you're like, I have no clue if he's understanding what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Like, so it's dope to see that they gave him that so he can like communicate not only with the characters but with us as like the viewer. Which is cool.
No, I agree. And
nice touch.
I think even the scenes where he has to actually get down to business, right? Like, hey, like Mando's not there to save him, and he's able to, because again, he was training with Luke for some time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm glad, the Jedi training came into effect here. Like they were trying to get to him, and he kept jumping from place to place, and then him using even slightly. Look how slightly he used the Force, and it was still he's like, move.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you don't want that. Like you can't have that. And he was helping Djarin out throughout it's so weird to call him Djarin. I'm gonna call him Mando.
I know. Call him Mando. Yeah.
But I think again the season did have its episodes where because I think a lot of people were like, yo, at least from what I saw on Twitter, right? People were like, wow, I wish they kind of just came back to having this be a more grounded Western story, because now it sort of seems like it's evolved into something else, right? And again, people were complaining about Lizzo and Jack Black's cameos, and it's like, bro, why is this something you're complaining about? Like, it's not like, what is the big deal about that? But whatever, it is what it is, right? But I know there's some people that generally, you know, felt the story was a little kind of maybe all over the place, or, you know, didn't really
Lacking in
fit.
some
Yeah,
areas.
lacking in substance. And you know what? I can see their point of view. I still think this was an enjoyable season. I still think that it expanded the Mandalore lore a lot more. You know, having Bo-Katan lead a united Mandalorian front. They've basically taken back over, you know, their planet.
And they even found more resources and plants and stuff down in the caves.
That's from like, they're like, this is from like the OG.
Yeah. It shows that it's possible to rebuild. And
Yeah. I will agree. Like maybe where they added some episodes and maybe the way they, you know, sidelined Din Djarin in some episodes, but at the same time, it's like it didn't really feel out of place. Because I'm like, first of all, this is Bo-Katan. Like, she's very well known, right? Because of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And I get it, it's the Mandalorian, and we've been presented with Din Djarin, but
she is a Mandalorian as well, so.
Right. But I do think some people were right where they're like, hey, like, this does seem to be, you know, and the funny thing is, I don't think this didn't set anything up for the next season. All this did was kind of close a chapter out.
Yeah,
It closed like a book. I feel like the first 3 seasons are now wrapped up. Like the Moff Gideon stuff is wrapped up, is done, and maybe we'll get another 2-3 seasons. Maybe like 2 series. Like the first 3 seasons dealt with Moff Gideon in that, and maybe they'll do another 3, 4, 5, and 6. I don't know. Maybe it could lead into that, depending on where Ahsoka takes it.
That's like the next bad after that.
Right, and especially the fact that they're going to have a movie on the Mandoverse.
And he also mentioned that he's working for the Republic as a freelance bounty hunter.
Dave Filoni, yes.
Exactly.
Yes. So it did set something up.
It's
right.
still on site for the Empire.
So I don't know if you guys did touch on this in the latest pod, just the films that are going to be coming out now, Star Wars wise.
No, we didn't.
So it's the Filoni film.
Okay.
That's going to be centered around Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Book of Boba Fett.
So
that's gonna wrap up
Din
that.
Vengers.
The Din Vengers.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a film that's taking place 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker with Daisy Ridley.
Wait, so
confirmed.
they survived all of that?
Daisy Ridley, we talked about. I think.
Does that have a name yet?
Wait, which one?
No.
The Daisy Ridley joint?
No.
What about the Filoni joint?
No.
Well,
these are just announced.
The description, wasn't it that she's gonna? It's 15 years. 15 or 5?
Yeah, 15 years after the events of Rise of Skywalker.
She's rebuilding
the Jedi.
But the Filoni thing is taking place when?
Like in the current events of Ahsoka, Mando. Like that's going to be the film to wrap all of that up that's going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's still sort of leading up to where the new sequel trilogy is standing. Gotcha.
Exactly.
All right.
That'll probably be the chapter that closes that out. And then we're getting a James Mangold Star Wars film that's taking place early on, like when the first Jedi were around. Heat already confirmed. Heat. Like if they let him cook, he's cooking.
Who is it?
James Mangold, Logan. And also confirmed to be doing Swamp Thing for the DCU.
Oh yeah, James Gunn. Guys, so excited to announce.
So yeah, I mean, I'm glad again because as I've been watching Clone Wars, I failed all of you, by the way, because I said I was gonna finish Clone Wars before the 8 weeks of Mando. I haven't, but
oh wow, yeah, you did.
But I am invested enough to finish this. I'm definitely finishing this before Ahsoka, which is coming up, right? I think it's in August.
You got mad time.
Yeah, but like I say that now, and then August comes, and I'm like, oh,
guys,
I haven't finished. So
I hope so.
Yeah. So I've been watching that. Highly recommend. I know a lot of our listeners have already been like, "Yo, we've been trying to put you on this." Yeah. We've been trying to put y'all onto this, but sure, go off, I guess.
Go off, sis.
Yeah. So
gatekeeping.
So nonetheless, I think in watching this and in watching, because I'm definitely following it up with Rebels. Again, I already saw Tales of the Jedi. So me watching all this, I'm slowly becoming a big Star Wars shill. Like I am like just thoroughly like, wow, like I'm very invested in, like I already know the outcome of what's going to happen between Luke between Anakin and Obi-Wan. And then I'm watching Clone Wars, and I'm still like that. I'm still like, yo, that's crazy. Like, that's so crazy to me. But it just goes to show how intricate. I've said this before on this podcast, but I think Star Wars is the most layered sort of creation of like film ever made.
All right, a film, okay.
Bro, the amount of creatures, the amount of names, the amount of cities and places that George Lucas created, and along with Co. It's just so expansive. It's too expansive. The fact that this shit goes off to, novels and comic books, video games, it's just a Christmas special. It's like it is a vast world, dude. And you could say something like, the only other ones I could really see competing too is obviously Lord of the Rings, super vast. Game of Thrones is very vast. Harry Potter is vast, but I don't think they have the amount of density that Star Wars does, just in terms of what they can and can't do, because it's in a galaxy far away.
And it happened a long time ago.
Right.
So the story's still being told.
Exactly.
Nah, but to also put in my score for the season, it was a heat season, man.
Nice.
Definitely, I'm starting to become a season 2 show like you, because I'm starting to realize, that was kind of the team up like season that like we started getting introduced to more characters that ended up helping out here.
Right.
So,
yeah.
This was a pretty heat season. I don't think it had its weird points or its awkward points, even its its unnecessary episodes or filler. Like, everything kind of culminated into the character development we're seeing there.
And I think a lot of people, forget, like, if you go back and rewatch, seasons 1 and 2, it's sort of the same feel. Like, it just is. Like, it's always him going off on some sort, like, there's point A to point B, and then you're just doing everything that's in between, and then so point A is the premiere, and then point B is the finale.
It is the modern weekly western.
Right.
Yeah.
And someone had because someone had commented, they were like, yo, like, I forgot what the comparison was, but the person was like, literally like, but this isn't a Sunday night HBO Game of Thrones.
It's not.
Like, this is a weekly Star Wars, and Star Wars has always been sort of these are right, exactly. Like, this is made for Star Wars fans. Like, you could have someone be like, yo, if you've never seen Star Wars, you could probably pick up on the Mandalorian, but that's the thing. Even when what happens in season 2, like, you're not gonna really be like, you're gonna be like, who the fuck is that? Exactly. You know what I mean? So to your point earlier, I think Andor's the only show that right now you could really be like, yo, you could go sit down and watch that and not know much about the overall universe, and you'll pretty much be okay. Because the show does a good job of writing what the stakes are here. Like, this is what the Empire is. This is what the Resistance is. Here's the conflict.
Yeah, and it's all about.
Here you go.
It's all gray. Like, it's just war.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna get my charger from my
your computer.
My computer.
That shit's about to die.
But yeah, guys. Anything else on Star Wars?
I'm gonna rate it. I'm gonna rate the episode in the season as heat. Or series, right? Or season. Did I say series or season?
Season and episode.
Season and episode. Yeah, heat. I'm gonna give it heat.
Yeah, for both. For both?
Yeah, for both. Yeah.
Nice. I'm happy for you,
dude. It's. I was saying. I don't know if you saw it, dude. It's now come to me defending the Mandalorian. Like, who would have thought season 1 me would?
Season 1 me.
Who would have thunk it,
dude? Because season 1 with every episode was this. Like, Mando meets somebody, they try to screw him over, and then he deals with it, and then he gets what he wants, and then he leaves. That's every single episode.
So did you feel like this season had more substance compared to the other two?
That's wavy.
Compared to season 1, like season 2, I think is still the best one.
Bad thing.
Yeah. You know what? This is what we'll do. We'll take a quick commercial break.
All right.
We'll have our sponsor, Spotify, take us a commercial break.
Flex.
And give us some cash. And when we return, we would have already spoken to Chakudi Iwuji, so look out for that, guys. Yeah. But then when we come back, we'll take another 15, half an hour, and break down a couple of things in the overall Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
So we'll see y'all in a little bit. And if you are tuning back in, we just wrapped up a whole hour podcast with our guy Chakudi Iwuji. Isn't that weird? Like how this is gonna work? Like people are gonna listen to this and not know. Well, they know
they're
now.
gonna be like,
'cause I
wait,
just
how
told
come they're
them.
wearing the same clothes? These motherfuckers don't shower.
But yes, we our next episode, it may or may not be out yet, but we just had a conversation with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 main villain, Chakudi Iwuji. Well, damn, soundboard came back and loud as hell. It's like, this is what you get. I wanted to be on the last podcast. Guys, we're professional with our guests, so we don't use the soundboard. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse because it wasn't working.
It definitely was not working in the last second, and we just felt nervous and we just wanted to start it because we didn't want them to think we were unprofessional. That's not what happened. I know exactly what you guys are thinking. That's not what happened.
It's not.
So yeah.
But if it is, then go fuck yourself. No, I'm just joking. That was mean.
We back though.
We are back to wrap up our Mandalorian Season 3 and Star Wars talk. Yeah. But yeah, you guys should check out the conversation with Chakudi because also Star Wars shill like us. So I'm going to give my rankings of...
Oh, yeah. So ranking the shows now. What's up?
Dead last. For me, again.
Oh, yeah, because we like to... By the way, guys, we like to start from...
Bottom to top.
Bottom tier to
of course.
Tier. Okay.
That's how everyone should start, to be honest.
Huh?
That's how everybody should start, to be honest.
I agree. I hate when people start... I don't hate. Hate is a strong word.
Yeah, because you be a Nazi. Demonetized. Just like that. Let's go.
Right. No, because I don't know. I just feel like you want to build up to like the grand one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a countdown.
Yeah.
So mine, I'm gonna do Book of Boba Fett Season 1. That to me was Mid-Mania. That was my ranking for that, right? Just to refresh you guys on our rankings. Right after or right before, I guess, Obi-Wan Kenobi. That to me was Ted. That to me was Ted Adam. I don't know why he's tight. It's the same ranking. It's the same ranking as him, pretty much.
Yo, he's fucking heated.
He literally has that the same.
Bro, he's gripping his camera super hard. He's gonna break that shit.
He's gonna throw that shit.
He's gonna break that shit like the Darksaber.
Yo, that was crazy. I can't believe Moff Gideon broke that shit. What?
Spoilers ahead.
I thought that was a good comparison.
Yeah, it was a good comparison. Yeah, you're right. You did deserve that.
I didn't even give you a bad drop.
No. Because he said what to my fist bump.
Oh.
Yeah. But it was a great analogy that he used.
It, and now it's not gonna hit as hard.
Nah, it is, bro. That's on me. The audience probably got it the first time for sure. But and then it's gonna go Mando Season 1, Mando Season 3.
Okay.
Andor, and then Mando Season 2.
Yeah, so
that's my ranking.
My ranking is pretty much the same, except I'm gonna switch Andor and Season 2. I think Andor is the best Star Wars TV show they've ever made, and
Chakudi agreed.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing. It truly is. Like, I have no complaints about it, and the acting, the dialogue, the stakes were high, and we didn't see a single Jedi. The stakes were still high as hell.
You hate the Jedi.
No, not Jedi. No, Jedi, no Sith. No, there's no Force. No, I'm saying that takes a lot of skill, because when you think of Star Wars, you think of Jedi versus Sith and stuff like that, right?
Right.
So to make a Star Wars project and not have the Force, the Jedi, or the Sith in it at all, and have it be that good,
speaks volumes.
Exactly. It speaks volumes to how I feel like they have just scratched the surface in terms of how they can tell stories about, in terms of what character do they focus on, and it also tells you they can stray away from the more known characters if they wanted to and make a fantastic story.
Talking shit.
So, I hope Disney takes it as a lesson to be like, hey, look, we should take more chances. We should be like, hey, and I think they have. Like, I mean, the Mandalorians are getting a whole movie. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Rey thing, 15 years in the future, rebuilding the Jedi Order.
it's-
Obviously that's Jedi stuff, but it takes a risk because it's like saying we know people mostly didn't like the sequel trilogy, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
Because we think we could tell a fantastic story, and I hope they're right. And let's see what happens.
Nice.
So
well said, Mark.
yeah.
Well said.
You
Guys,
always
the
think I'm
Andor
hating.
podcast now.
My boy Mark lives in New Jersey.
JK, go listen to our Andor podcast.
Oh, hi, Mark.
They're all up. Go listen to them. Go back.
Yes, sir.
What?
Precisa de uma garrafa de água?
Sure. I will take one. Nice on the Portuguese. I see you. Well, after you give me that, give us your rankings for the shows so far.
Mark.
Yeah.
And guys, this is not including the animated stuff. I know, again, I'm catching up to Clone Wars. I know that there's Rebels. Thank you. And I know that there's Bad Batch that's having one more season, by the way.
Bitch.
The Bad Bitch is having 3 seasons. Next up is Ahsoka. Wow. Next up is Ahsoka, which I'm super excited for, dealing with Thrawn. And I was wrong thinking she was going to show up here and they were going to build out her show. They did no such thing.
Or Thrawn.
I was wrong about
Nowhere
everything.
to be seen at all.
But it's all good, man. Look, I'm very interested to see what Brian and guys, if you haven't noticed, we isolated the haters out. That's what really has happened. We've isolated Brian. We've isolated Eunice.
They're gonna have their own podcast coming out.
We don't need nor want
It's called
that
Chilling with
negativity.
Haters.
It's gonna be called the.
Chilling with Haters. They're gonna be.
It's gonna be called
Chilling with haters.
John Wick in Hollywood.
Yo, that's crazy. But yeah, hit us with it, Ariel.
All right, so from
Rank your shows and seasons.
low to top. So just shows,
Yes.
Star Wars shows. So it'll be Boba Fett at the bottom tier, and slightly above that, Obi-Wan,
Told you, same shit as me.
Mando, Andor.
You group Mando all as one, right? Like I do the Dark
Yeah,
Knight trilogy.
yeah.
Yeah, all as one.
That's ridiculous.
How is that ridiculous?
Oh, it's those are movies. Like not like I don't know. It's like different to group a
These
trilogy of movies.
These are seasons.
It's different to group a trilogy of movies to me than like a seasons of a TV show.
It's a singular. It's basically a singular arc of a character from start to finish.
It's debatable.
That's what
Debated.
it is.
So debated.
So debated.
Wow,
that,
we're not
brother.
gonna start
That's
that
what
right
it
now.
is.
We're not gonna start that right now, bro.
If not now, then when?
Later.
All right.
Debate it later. New album coming soon.
Confirmed.
Debate it later. All right, so make sure to write it down.
Maybe that could be a segment.
Debate it later.
Debate it later. All right.
But then when
No,
it actually comes,
so
it's
then
debated
that's later.
now.
That's later. When we do the segment, that it becomes later, because it's like questions that come up in a previous podcast or whatever that could be controversial or whatever, and we can talk
Yeah.
about it and whatever.
Because you already know.
I've been coming. I'm going to continue to come.
Whoa. Yo, someone wrote on Twitter, I think we owe her an apology for saying she was a traitor, referring to
do.
the armorer.
We owe everybody an apology.
We do. I think we said it in the beginning of the podcast, but for sure.
I am not apologizing for any take I made on this. No.
All right, bro.
Why not?
The armor.
She stayed true.
I guess. Cool.
What do you mean? I guess cool.
I'm not really a big fan of her
Like,
character.
Why?
It's not that I don't like her. It's just like, okay, like she's there, cool.
But what does that have to do with apologizing to her? Because we thought she was a traitor when she wasn't. She was down for the cause. Are you down for the cause? All right, sounds good. Don't like don't ask us for an apology.
No. I apologize to Sasha Banks for accusing her of being sus.
Yo, Grogu using the force. Like
the force field. Yeah,
that was tough.
That was crazy.
That clap Moff Gideon.
Yo, so then he was with Luke for 2 years.
To DK John Favreau, or 85 days, according to Eunice's sources. 85 days he was training with Luke. 85 days after No Way Home.
Yeah, that's No Way Home. I don't understand like the fucking why so if that was his death scene, like he was completely silent. He was just like this. Like usually when people die,
he was not silent. He went.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, hold on.
Oh,
I'm gonna run it back. I'm gonna run it back.
Hear that.
I'm gonna run it back. He was
made
tight.
the Vin Diesel noise?
He was tight. He was tight. Hold on. Let me run this shit back.
I'm gonna make that edit just.
That's exactly what happened, bro.
It's so hot.
I heard. Yeah, exactly. Because they was busting his ass. So hold on.
They were working his shit. OD.
Damn.
You just hear from the helmet.
I know. Hold on. You might have to play it. No.
Oh, I have it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because or else it's gonna fuck up.
Episode, I got it.
Oh no, we're not on Zoom. I can play it. I'm bugging. I got you right now. Hold on.
Yeah, just don't have the.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Let's see what's up. Yo, this shit was so funny, bro.
I do apologize. I do
that's
apologize
season
about
one.
the armor.
Season 1. I'm tripping.
I do apologize about the armor because she was
1.
putting it in work when they were fighting.
Oh, you apologize?
Yeah.
Wow.
No take backs.
Nah, bro. No, dude. Stand your ground.
All right, hold on.
This is in Florida, bro.
This is in Florida? What?
Oh,
right here. Hold on.
Wait,
oh, my God.
There you go.
All right, guys, we're going to play a little bit of snippet. Disney, please allow... You heard him? It literally says Moff Gideon screaming. He goes...
Yo, he going Super Saiyan.
Yo, he got clapped.
He could have just flew towards them or something.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine he flew towards them and they were fighting in the shield.
He flew too close to the sun. Yo, but in a sense he did. Remember, because what did he tell Mando? He's like, yo, like you fucked all my clone shit up. I was gonna have the Force. It was all gonna be groovy. And how does he die? Basically, Grogu stepped in and was using the Force on him. Like he flew too close to the sun.
That's very true.
And I know y'all are like, oh no body, no case. This dude's dead. There's no way. Like this was a like catastrophe, dude. Like the ship had fallen on him. There is fire everywhere. This place is demolished. He is, gone, dusted, reduced to atoms.
Okay. We saw Palpatine also fall into an abyss.
And somehow he returned. Yo, I will say though, if season 4 there is like a loose Moff Gideon clone, I'm going to be upset.
You are legitimately gonna be tight.
Yeah,
you're gonna be tight,
dude.
Come on,
you're gonna be tight.
4 seasons of the same villain. 4. That's a little D.
That's not my complaint. That's not my complaint. Because they're gonna do how many Harry Potter books are there?
And Voldemort is the
stop it, bro. This is like the chosen one. This is like the fated.
Okay, so you're
Are you saying Mando and Moff Gideon is Voldemort and Harry Potter? Stop this. Stop this craziness. Don't make that comparison ever again. Okay?
So that's like if it was Luke and Anakin then. You could do 7 seasons of that. All right, cool.
Then I'd be okay with that.
I can respect that.
But not fucking like
Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon and fucking no disrespect to because I love Esposito.
Yo, Big Moff, bro.
I love Esposito and he's a fantastic actor.
Moff Himidian.
Moff Himian.
Moff Himian.
Moff Himian. We love Moff Himian. But, 4 seasons, bro? Nah. 3 seasons is already kind of dragging it, but it's because of him, I have no problem. Because it's him.
So then if there's a 4th season...
So 4, all right.
So then he's not Himothy anymore if there's a 4th season?
Oh, he's still Himothy, but Himothys have expirations. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just...
Yo, this Himothy is expiring, bro.
Like, bro, you gotta get a new one. You gotta get it renewed, bro.
I have a question. Does
he has an answer.
Does Moff dying like like Super Saiyan? Is it worth it after all this, everything that's happened? Like,
what do you mean worth it?
Is his villain death? Like, did it feel like accomplishing? Like
like triumphant.
Yeah, like did it feel like like finally, like he's out the picture?
I do think so. I mean, I think it's funny because like how if you had asked me in season 1 how he died like that, I probably would have been like, eh. But like I think throughout the growth and the writing and the theme of this season especially, what did she say? What did Bo-Katan what did she say when she was fighting him? We're stronger together.
Yeah, we're stronger together.
And what ended up happening is they all got help from all the other Mandalorians, and the fucking ship crashed, and it ended up killing him while Grogu who was a foundling, so he's still associated with them, also helped them and put the Force shield up, and they beat them together. They're stronger together.
Perfection, Mark. That was the answer.
I was okay. I was okay with it.
And now we also have character growth with Mark, who wasn't the biggest fan of Grogu in the beginning. This is true.
And they made Grogu more useful, and they started using him.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So I don't know if it's my growth or the show's growth, but yeah.
A little bit of both.
It's a little
I think it's 50-50.
I'm saying it's a good thing, bro.
I know. I'm just saying. I don't know if... I mean, I feel like had they kept using him in the same way, I would have been my problem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like...
Yeah.
They made him useful with the Force.
Right. The streets are saying, you know, by the time the... I love when I say that, and Ariel already gives me a look. Like, what? What dumb shit did the streets say? But because they got the the film with Rey coming out 15 years after Rise of Skywalker, you know, that Grogu could... Because Grogu technically can be alive at that time period. And he will be around the age where Yoda became a Master Jedi. So
about 530.
So I mean, it would be kind of cool to see a grown, like,
because Grogu will only be 80 by the time Rise of Skywalker rolls around.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. 80,
at the
90.
ripe age of 80, bro.
The ripe age.
For his species, yeah, that's a ripe age. He's in his prime. Yeah. So imagine 80s were the primes, bro. Can't wait for our 80s.
When Din Grogu pulls up and sees Rey,
it's
over, bro.
Why did that come into your like psyche? Like why?
Stop, bro.
Why did that happen?
We need to stop this, bro. This needs to stop.
Like, I think you need to go see some help.
All right.
We need a timeout for that, bro.
Nah, but Star Wars.
We need something. We need, first of all, we need Soups to come on, and then we're gonna be like, Soups, actually, can you give us every franchise? Yeah. Just say every franchise, and then
what are you doing?
Star Wars, what are you doing?
DC, what are you doing?
Stephen King, what are you doing?
Just anything. Lord of the Rings, what are you doing? Harry Potter, what are you doing?
Ridley Scott, what are you doing?
We give them a laundry list of shit.
Tom Cruise, what are you doing?
Succession, what are you doing?
HBO.
Just guys, we will be doing a Succession finale podcast.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully Ariel catches up.
Gee, how long do I have?
Like 5 weeks.
Yeah.
I have. So there's a month and 2 weeks.
A month.
You have a week. You have a month. Yeah. Let's say you have a month.
What's the date again?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a little less than a month.
So when is the specific date for?
I think
finale?
the 14th, May 14th.
May 14th.
Well, look it up right now on handy dandy IMDb. Guys, there's no IMDb reviews unfortunately for this episode to be read. That shit is so annoying. It's like, come on, bro. Like, I'm trying to read these bad comments just to see what people are saying.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's May 14th.
Has anybody hated online though?
Of course, bro. Come on.
Twitter,
what kind of question is that? You're talking about a Star Wars project, like, and one that had Lizzo and Jack Black in an episode. Of course, people were gonna hate. What was your question again? May 28th, bro.
Wait. Oh, that's great timing.
Yeah, there's 10 episodes. We're heading into episode 5. So you have 6 more weeks.
So there's 10 episodes a season.
Yeah.
And this is the 4th season.
This is the fourth and last season. Fourth and final.
So I only need to watch 30 episodes from here until the end of May.
Yeah.
Well, 34 or no. 34
because of this season.
Because of this season.
So
34.
I just watch episode a day.
No, more than that. Maybe like
two a day. You need to bang out a couple here and there.
2 a day.
If you could do 3,
and you can catch up.
I promise you, bro. Power through season 1.
You don't have to power through. It's good.
No, it's good, but for people that are new to it, like I feel like
once you power through the first 2 episodes, first 2 or 3 episodes,
right, and then you'll start being like, okay, I want to know more about the bochinche that's going on.
Okay.
Because in the finale for season 1, like that's the episode to me that I was like, okay, like bring on season 2. Like
really?
yes.
It took 10 episodes for you to be like, yo, let's go.
No, not that. It's just that like because you're still learning about the characters. You're still learning like
because these are dense, like very
right.
layered characters. You're starting to learn about what because there's not really a show like this show. And like try to think of try to think of one that's like really similar to it. I can't.
That's confirmed.
Like think about you disliking all of them and yet liking all of them at the same time.
It's really weird.
And then when one of them fucks up, you're like, you motherfucker. You couldn't just stay in your lane, could you? Could you?
Trust. It's a very unique show, so it kind of does. That's why I think it takes a little while, like for people to like really understand what it is.
Okay.
So truly, it's amazing though. Like once
once
that moment
in.
hits, you're in there, bro. Like trust.
Like for me, bro, Sunday I couldn't last Sunday, but Sunday nights 9 p.m. Like I'm in there, bro. Like have to be, or if not, it has to be the following Monday because I'm not trying to get shit spoiled. It's HBO prime time.
I am not against it.
9 out of 10 times they don't miss.
I watched the first episode of White Lotus and I fell asleep.
That's another one that takes a while
that is crazy to me.
I fell asleep that first one.
That is crazy to me. But guys, anything else on Mandalorian season 3 on what the future holds? I know you said Thrawn is most likely where you think they're gonna go.
That's where they're going with
the big bad.
Because Mando is working for the
I thought
Republic
that was gonna be
now.
Ahsoka's.
Yeah, he is.
He's a bounty hunter.
So he's gonna be the main villain for 2 shows.
I mean, he could just be the main antagonist of like the Disney Plus series now.
The thing is that this is culminating into a film, so
exactly.
Right. That makes sense.
Exactly. So I'm sure we'll see.
And we don't know what happens to Thrawn apparently, like after Clone Wars.
I'll let you know after I watch Rebels. But guys, I do highly recommend Clone Wars. Once I get to Rebels, I'll let you know. But maybe one of you will pass me and watch Rebels before. But yes, he is a freelance New Republic contractor now.
Exactly.
So that is exciting, and I love that the dynamic I put it to was Jim Gordon and Batman in the sense where he's like, this isn't really like
on
legal,
books,
on the book,
books,
but he's like, you know what, I kind of do need you, and like he's like, I know you've thought about it already because you know you need this, like no one else is gonna get the job done.
Exactly.
But and that goes to show too, and that's why I didn't have, like, I feel like Mando has now seen the bigger picture, like Din Djarin has seen the bigger overall scope. Kind of like, bro, it all goes back to what Han Solo said in The Force Awakens, where he's like, yo, it's true, all of it, the Jedi, the Force, the Sith, like Din Djarin has now seen it all. Like he's seen fucking Luke Skywalker. Exactly. Bro, he's seen Luke Skywalker
and
fuck shit up.
And the thing is that not many people can say that they've seen that. Like, especially after Return of the Jedi, that you met Luke twice?
That's wild.
Yeah. But it all started with Grogu. Like, that's where it changed for him, right? Like, he got him, and essentially, this was a job for him to do.
Yeah.
Grogu was an assignment.
This was just a job, yep.
And
similar to Joel and Ellie.
This is the Last of Us Star Wars edition. Like, you know what I mean? So, and just kind of that's why, again, kind of tying it back where they're like, oh, like he's taking a back seat in his own show. I'm like, bro, not really. He's down for the cause now.
Exactly.
Like, you saw
he
how
has purpose.
Exactly. And
meaning, like something that's not like just surviving. It's like
exactly.
living.
And in the beginning of the season, I always thought it was, hey, we're gonna get away from like the cult that he's in because they're too. But and then props to the armorer, bro, because if it wasn't for her,
it would have been clipped.
the ways wouldn't have changed. She's like, you know what? If some of you don't want to wear the helmet,
that's all right.
Totally fine. Some of us will still wear it all the time, and that's what we're cool with. You guys could take it off. That's what you're cool with. But us as a people, we need to stick together.
Exactly. It's she made it more about community than about it being
about religion.
Exactly, because and then again ties back to what we said, where Bo-Katan was like, "Yo, the thing about Mandalorians, we're stronger together. hold this, Moff Gideon. So I think it ties. I think again, Din Djarin has had 3 seasons of you could say a complete arc. He knows himself. He knows what he's fighting for, and now he has a bigger purpose, right? He's like, hey, I'm not going to be fully involved, but because I'm going to be with him, and we have to go on our adventures, and it's probably. I feel like next season is mainly going to be him just defending Grogu while Grogu goes on his little journey. But at the same time, now we're going to sort of have him be a true ally to the New Republic. Like, he always has been, but it was always like, yo, who's going to give me the most money? Now it's not about money. He's like, no, I choose my assignments. And guess what? You know what? I kind of only want one person giving me work right now.
He legit chose his time and hours.
Right.
Does he get dental, though?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
probably not, bro. He's on an hourly.
See, that's the thing. I wonder, especially since this takes place so much, longer after Andor and stuff. And we're kind of seeing the in-between of Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. It's interesting because that's a gap of the Star Wars history that I don't mind exploring because it hasn't been touched on. And it's what's going to seal the deal on the whole saga. Like, the Skywalker saga ain't over until this shit finishes up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
and what's crazy was, I think, and they're going to do something where I'm kind of happy about it because I felt like the Rise of Skywalker, to complete the Skywalker saga, to be that big endgame level completion of a saga, it didn't get that feel for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I still enjoyed it, and again, I'll always tell people this that even at the ripe age of 25, the voice still cracks.
Yeah.
So I always tell people that with the Skywalker saga. But no, I think, again, I enjoy the sequel trilogy. Again, I still do. I always will have a special place for the sequel trilogy. Are there some things I would have wanted to change? Of course, especially with The Rise of Skywalker. Force Awakens and Last Jedi, though, I can defend those all day. Like, I really can. Rise of Skywalker, I could look at you and be like, you know what? I totally understand where you're getting from. I also wasn't a huge fan of the whole Palpatine came back as a clone. Like, they should have, they should have kept it as Kylo as the big bad of that.
Yeah.
Like, and again, have him, the talk we were having just now, walking and talking about Anakin and how tragic of a villain he really is, and how you were like,
the same thing for Kylo.
It could have been the same thing for Kylo in a sense, where it's just like, he's past the point of us calling him a hero, but he was still the chosen one.
Yep.
And I can't wait for Brian and Eunice to be here because I want to have a full Star Wars breakdown, dude. Because again, it's so vast, and because Brian had brought up a point too, where with the sequel trilogy, he feels like it kind of tainted Anakin being the chosen one. But I told him, I was like, dude, not at all. Like, at least from my opinion,
he's still the center of what even Kylo Ren wanted to be.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think bringing in Rey and making her a quote unquote Skywalker, and that's another thing too. They could have just kept her as a nobody, and she still technically is a nobody. It's not like they kind of just adopted her in a sense, but it wasn't like she comes from Skywalker blood.
Yeah.
But they made her a Palpatine. That was the issue.
Yeah.
I like erase all the Palpatine stuff from the Rise of Skywalker,
and it's solid.
And you have a solid film between her and Kylo Ren.
Yep.
So, and that's another thing too. Speaking of Kylo Ren, the streets, right, are saying that he will be. Adam Driver will be in the Fantastic Four as Reed Richards.
Oh, right.
It just came to my mind just now because we saw.
I didn't know you were
about
going
it.
with that.
I hear the streets are saying that Kylo Ren's coming back.
Nah, don't do that.
I thought that's what he was
somehow
gonna say,
Kylo
too.
Ren returned.
He was cloned.
Yeah, and again, to your point, I know about the Last Jedi as well. There's a couple things on Finn I would have changed up as well, and his story, because I feel like he could have had a grander story.
Yeah, I think it kind of got sidelined a little bit there.
Right, a little, and again, I want to do full research and go on a full breakdown, but I think nonetheless, with these shows and movies that they got coming out now, I feel like we're actually going to get a nice conclusion to the quote unquote Skywalker saga. And then Star Wars can now be sort of free from the reins of we could just start talking about anything now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, because we're getting a film that's going to deal with the very first Jedi, and we're getting a film that's going to be dealing in present day what's going on with the Jedi and Force users.
Full circle thing.
Exactly. And guess what? Everything in between has already been filled in. I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
Does it have its flaws? Of course. But at least every Star Wars fan can go, hey, we have a conclusion to this. Because that's not something we could get with the DCEU. There's no conclusion to that, right?
The Flash, bro.
Sure, Ariel. Troféu joinha pra você. And that's something you can say about the Infinity War saga, the Infinity Saga, right? That's its own thing, and that's separate from the multiverse saga, which right now people obviously have their issues with the first few projects.
I hate that shit,
bro. But nonetheless, like that is most likely than not going to get its own completion story. So that, Star Wars fans, like I saw a comment on Twitter, and I'll end it with this, where it's just like, yo, like think about it. It came out late 70s, early 80s.
It came out in 1979.
Right. That was the original trilogy. Yep. And then Star Wars fans were deprived of films up until the late 90s, early 2000s with the prequels, which back then apparently everybody was like, yo, awful, bad. We don't want it. Yeah. What is happening, right? But now, as we know, in present day, everyone loves it. Not everyone, but, majority. And then from that point on, another, 10 years until we got a new trilogy. Bro. So we haven't really had much Star Wars content on the big screen like that. Yeah. It's always broken down. Like, if they're going to do, they've broken down trilogies into decades for the most part. So, and again, I don't want them to, and I guess that's why maybe people are feeling, that fatigue with the TV stuff. But at the same time, it's like, yo, look at the animation stuff. A lot of the animation stuff is just more world building. Yep. Yeah. And like that's how I think people need to perceive it. It's not, and someone had said it, where it's just like, yo, this isn't Sunday night, Game HBO, of Thrones, HBO, where it's just like, yo, every episode has to count, has to matter.
It has to be like something where every day, it's like the next day. Go to your friends. Did you watch it? Did you watch the episode? It's like, it doesn't like exactly what you said. It could just be kind of chill. Like I think we expect a little like too much sometimes when it comes to it.
Yeah. And also, we were talking on the way over here about, like, even on the video game side, that it has a pretty dense story on the video game side as well. I mean, I don't know how canon it is.
Yeah, you've been playing Jedi Survivor, right?
Mm-hmm. No, it hasn't come out yet.
No,
Fallen Order. Yeah. You're like, yo, I forgot how good this shit is, right?
Yeah.
I heard it's really good.
It is.
Even the Force Unleashed games are really good, like, story-wise.
Yeah.
Like, they're cool.
And like,
I want to wield the lightsaber. That seems like a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. I mean, like, I think the next game, Survivor, is going to be even better and like more fluid in terms of gameplay and stuff like that, and story. I mean, the story in this one, in the first one, it's like very good, and but they don't try. I don't think they try to do like too much, like for a video game.
Yeah.
Like where it's like all about what you can do as the player versus the actual narrative. Mm-hmm. Like trying to give you cool things to do as a player while also giving you a good story. That's that sweet spot that like game developers like need to focus on, in my opinion, when it comes to these storytelling type games, like single like RPG type things. So they did a really good job, I think, in Fallen Order, and I assume they're going to do the same but better in Survivor. So
glad to hear it.
What to look forward to.
Anything else Star Wars that we want to touch on?
Well, looking forward to doing that deep dive with Eunice and Brim for sure.
Yeah,
because
I think it's needed. I think it's needed. Like we haven't all five of us sat down here in the studio and been like, yo, let's talk Star Wars, because I know people got shit to talk about.
I'm gonna need to watch them.
I need to as well. I've seen the original trilogy once. Wow. Once. Okay. I've seen the prequel trilogy once.
Same.
Once.
Wow.
I've seen
episode 3. I've seen a lot, but the other ones.
I've seen Rogue One once. I've seen Solo: A Star Wars Story once.
That I've only seen once.
Wait.
Rogue One I've seen a lot.
I've seen the only two films that I have seen twice, and only twice.
Last Jedi.
Yes. And that was because before we watched The Rise of Skywalker, we went to Mark's house and we watched the first two.
So then you're telling me Rogue One was that good that you retained that and you're like, yo.
Oh my god.
Bro.
I rewatched it recently. Again.
So fucking
It's what got me into Star Wars.
That's crazy.
Was Rogue One. And particularly the last scene of Vader. I was like, I have to. I was like, what a perfect time for me to continue it now because I just saw this, so I can start on episode 3.
And I think
4, excuse me.
Yeah, I think it actually is probably the perfect intro thing. If someone's not into, like this, I've never seen anything about Star Wars.
That's a good
Rogue
take.
One is probably the movie I would show them first.
Or Andor.
Andor
right into Rogue One.
And
yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Andor right into Rogue One.
And it goes to the point of us saying Andor could be its own standalone thing without you having to know much about the universe. Because guess what? You'll start it and it'll lead into everything that's going to happen into the universe. Absolutely. And then you could watch the prequel stuff
and it
whenever.
All makes sense going along.
Yeah. Because as much as like, okay, I don't mind, like, I need to go back and watch, but I don't think like the first time I saw episode 1, I was like, okay, this is like kind of goofy, whatever. But
bro, it's rated PG, bro. Like, what do you think?
It's working. It's working.
But that's the thing. Like, we're dealing with a kid, Anakin. Like, I get it. But Darth Maul was still cool. So I'll go back and revisit. That's the thing too, man. Like, Star Wars isn't something that I could be like, yo, I hated that movie. Like, cause Brian was swinging that word around. I was like, bro, like, no. He was like, yo, the sequel trilogy is garbage. I'm like, bro, you are throwing that word around very loosely.
He is actually bugging.
Very loosely, because from just a visual standpoint, it pretty much has everything else.
It clears everything else. Yeah.
Not to say that the older stuff doesn't hold up, because it does.
It looks cool.
It does, especially the remastered stuff of it. Like it looks great, but and again, no fault of its own. It's just the reality that we live in and the timeline that we're in, where we have the technology to make really crisp Star Wars live action films.
We're not limited by the technology.
Yeah, we are not limited by the technology of our time. So yeah, man, I'm excited. I can't wait for that. I'm hoping maybe we can schedule that before Ahsoka. I think that would be perfect.
Yeah, August? Yeah, we have plenty of time.
I implore everyone, of course, you don't have to, but if you do find time, we can all catch up to Clone Wars and Rebels and Bad Batch before Ahsoka. I think that would be pretty cool, because then all of us will just be cursed with knowledge on everything.
Wait,
I will send it.
Yeah, because I wonder, does Bad Batch also fall in line with that?
That
list?
Yeah. Well, yes. Well, in the sense where it is dealing with a group of clones that.
So they all look the same.
Yeah, they all look the same. Yeah, even with the Clone Wars episodes of the clones, like, it's just so funny. Like, you have to literally just remember, like, they all sometimes had different hairstyles and like different scars and shit. So that's how you can tell them apart. But they all look and sound the same. Like, face.
What are you doing here?
Nah, it's more like you'll hear the voice. It's funny. But even those episodes though, like, you start to get an appreciation and more of an understanding. Like, yo, like Star Wars and clones like go together like crazy. Like this shit is basically built around clones.
So now that you say that, Palpatine being a clone, is that really a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing. I just feel like I kind of feel like this season of The Mandalorian did the same thing Rise of Skywalker did, where it's just like
somehow Palpatine returned.
We knew things with Gideon weren't fully like established, like it wasn't fully finished, like there was unfinished business there, but it did sort of feel like he came in the later episodes. So it's kind of the same thing with the sequel trilogy, where Palpatine only really came in like after the fact. That's how I felt it was with Moff Gideon. But like, it was okay because I knew they needed to conclude that. So I was cool with that. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you do need to wrap this up. So let's wrap it up. And they did. Perfect. I'm cool with that. The differences with the Rise of Skywalker is they didn't need to include that to begin with. Like, if
wasn't the plan.
Right, exactly. If they were like, yo, from Force Awakens, like, this is what it is leading up to, I'd be like, okay, cool, I understand. But they never really tied into it. Like, they did with Snoke a little bit. And if you wanted to make Snoke the big bad, right, of that, again, they should have just stuck with Kylo being the big bad of it all.
Okay, now, what if this Mando film and, the stuff in between, like this and Force Awakens, to close it out finally. If they do something cool with the Snoke character, like have him like actual character that does other things.
Because we barely got to see him.
Exactly. So if let's say that's like something that gets introduced now with this, you know, Ahsoka stuff and with Thrawn and all that would be really cool because then we'll get some more context and you know, and some more substance to that. And then hopefully Rise of Skywalker can like pay off, because another thing, we also said that 10 years from now maybe people are gonna be like, yo, Force Awakens was kind of heat. Like,
bro, Force Awakens is fucking gas, bro. Like, that shit is so good. And The Last Jedi is so underrated.
Yeah, except for that freaking casino shit.
Yeah, take out take out the Finn stuff. That film is, to me, near perfection.
Sounds crazy.
What? Take out the Finn stuff?
Racist.
No, see, yo,
yo, crazy, bro. Switching it up. I'm saying, give him a better storyline. Like, his story in Force Awakens was heat.
Yeah, it was dope.
Heat.
That was super cool.
And then he's kind of just running around, like, doing this other thing.
Ray? Yeah.
Right. Like, they could have given him more to do.
For Ray the entire movie.
Right. It's just like, all right. But other than that, but I get why they did that. It's because, like, you now have brought in Luke Skywalker into the mix, into the fold. So it's like the story is going to be more centered around him and Rey and Kylo.
Exactly.
And dealing with the whole family
Everybody
dynamic with Leia.
Yeah.
Right. So
which is why even, like, they had to kill Han. Oh.
Spoilers ahead.
They've been through that. Come on.
Which is why they had to kill Han, because then that would have been a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Characters.
Right.
And stuff, yeah.
So, again, and we'll get more into this in a deep dive, but I think, to your point, with them sort of being able to give us more context, I think I will look back at the sequel trilogies with a little bit more like, okay, cool, I know the backstory now. Even though that wasn't your intention from jump, at least there's a little bit more backstory. We've been saying it during our lives and such. But yeah, guys, I mean, hey, if you want to listen to our previous podcast, we typically go live. Weren't really able to today since this was kind of, you know, a last minute hash out. Since we were originally going to record this on a different day, but we thought, hey, the three of us are here to speak with Chakudi Iwuji anyway. So why not just bang out, you know, watching the finale and talking about it. But we typically do go live. We've been going live, you know, Wednesday or Thursday nights around 9:30 p.m. So, you know, if you want to come through, go to our YouTube channel. And if you're unable to, we will be having video here on Spotify, which we're allowed to do now, which is great.
Yeah.
So if you are tuned in here on Spotify, thanks for coming through. And if you aren't listening on Spotify and listening anywhere else, we also appreciate it. But make sure to come through and chill next week, and we'll see you then.
As always.
Wavy, baby.